In 1971, Shotaro Ishinomori, a Japanese cartoonist, created Kamen Rider, a live-action TV show about a young man named Takeshi Hongo, who, after escaping Shocker, the evil organization that attempted to turn him into a cyborg and brainwash him, swears to use his new powers for good and destroy the oppressive group and their many henchmen. The show was incredibly successful and would go on to dawn a new wave of Japanese heroes with their own characters and stories for years to come. For the show's 50th anniversary, it was announced that a remake of the original series was in the works as a feature film titled Shin Kamen Rider, Shin in this case meaning new, as this was a retelling of the story set in a more modern world, with new takes on characters, but being true to the core of the series. This video will explore one of the major themes of this movie, carrying out the will of those who passed, and how the director Hideaki Anno visually signifies this theme. The first instance we see of this theme at play is at the beginning of the movie, right after Hongo successfully escapes from Shocker's base. Hongo retreats to a safe house and reflects on what he has just become, a horrific machine for violence. This is where he meets Professor Midorikawa, the man who worked for Shocker to turn Hongo into a modified being, with the power to turn into an insect hybrid cyborg at will, but not to help Shocker enforce their evil rule. Rather, he was a man on the inside who augmented Hongo to be strong enough to destroy Shocker. The professor entrusts Hongo to protect his daughter Ruriko and take down Shocker as his last wish before he is killed by the Spider Augment, another agent of the organization. Ruriko puts his trust in Hongo's abilities and presents him with the iconic Kamen Rider red scarf around his neck, her idea of the symbol of a hero. From this moment, Takeshi Hongo casts aside his identity as the Grasshopper Augment and claims himself as Kamen Rider, the one who will fight for humanity's sake. We see this happen again later in the movie with Hayato Ichimonji, the second Grasshopper Augment and another agent of Shocker. Eventually, Ruriko develops a code to undo Ichimonji's brainwashing and entrust him to fight against Shocker, along with Hongo. As Ichimonji kneels over crying about the horrible things he's done, Ruriko once again presents him with a red scarf, the symbol of a rider. This is her last will to Ichimonji, as she is unexpectedly killed by the KK Augment, a hybrid augment that combines the power of a chameleon and praying mantis, who is acting out of revenge for his comrade, the Spider Augment. Ichimonji steps up to avenge Ruriko as he claims himself as Kamen Rider and promptly defeats the KK Augment. With both riders now with the same mission to avenge Ruriko and put an end to Shocker, they head to the lair of Ichiro, a Shocker general, as well as Ruriko's older brother. The cycle completes itself here as Hongo gives his life to defeat Ichiro, fulfilling both Midorikawa's wishes. The movie ends with Ichimonji taking the mantle of Kamen Rider, shouldering Hongo's original goal to take down Shocker. Now with a new mask containing the life force of Hongo, as well as Ruriko, Ichimonji literally carries their hopes with them as he continues his mission. The continuous theme of carrying out one's will in Shin Kamen Rider relates back to the original 1971 series, as well as the larger Kamen Rider franchise. Just like in the movie, Ichimonji was the main rider in Hongo's stead for a while partway through the show, though the reason for it is a bit complicated. The in-universe reasoning is that Hongo went off to fight Shocker overseas, and Ichimonji was brought in to fight their Japan branch. The actual reason is that during the filming of the show, Hiroshi Fujioka, the actor that played Hongo, was injured in a motorcycle accident on set, causing them to introduce a new character to continue the Kamen Rider show. Eventually, he would recover and return to the show, joining Ichimonji in the fight for peace. In the grand scheme of the series, Kamen Rider is a series all about introducing a new hero every year with their own story to tell. In more recent years, they began doing little cameos of the future main character in the final episode to give fans a taste of what's to come for the future, and that they're worthy of carrying the Kamen Rider title after the current protagonist's story ends. 幸せになれよ。